Good day, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about the non-human communication and transmission in animal language. Find a comfortable seat while we discuss the information that you have to know.
Good day, everyone. Today, I will discuss to you the non-human communication. But before that, what is communication? Communication is the act of conveying meanings from one entity or group to another through the use of mutually understood like signs, symbols, and semiotic rules. There are two forms of communication: the human communication and non-human communication. Now, what is non-human communication? It is the way anything non-human communicates without the use of words. It is not symbolic, so it cannot preserve ideas of the past. Example of this non-human communication is animal. They use sounds, odor, and body movements to communicate. Now, let's talk about the sixth property of language. I will discuss here the differences between non-human communication to human communication. One is reflexivity. Can use the signal to talk about other signals. For example is wolves howl to call to other wolves in the pack. Other example is elephants use their trunks to talk to other herds over long distances. Number 2 is displacement. Animal communication is about here and now. Other animals react only to stimuli in the present. For example is meow meow means I am hungry now, not tomorrow or yesterday. Not like the human can talk about past, present, and future. Like for example is yesterday I watched a movie. Number 3, arbitrariness. There is connection between the conveyed message and its signal. It means to protect the territory, a limited set of signal forms. Example is an animal lays claim to and defends an area against other of its species, and occasionally members of other species as well. Number 4. Productivity. Have only limited set of signals, and each signals is fixed and related to particular objects. For example is the dog. Their tail that is held low or between the legs signals a lack of confidence, nervousness, or fear. A tail that is held high but wagged more slowly means the dog is assessing a situation. Unlike to us, human can create new words and utterances that never said before. Or for example is, hey, watch out, there is a snake. Number 5. Cultural transmission. Born with a set of specific signals that are produced instinctively. Other animals communicate largely with signs they are born knowing. For example is a kitten will produce a meow, regardless where it was born. In human, if a kid born to Korean parents in Korea but adopted and brought up from birth by English speakers in the US, then the kid will speak in English. Number 6. Duality. The communicative signals are fixed and cannot be broken into different parts. Example is meow, cannot be separated into M, E, O, W. In human, it is distinct sound and distinct meaning, like have sound but did not contain meaning, and they can rearrange the word and still have meaning.
Moving on, the second topic is about transmission in animal language. And to better understand the flow of the report about transmission in animal language, here's some of the terms used that you will encounter along the discussion. First, animal language. Animals do not have specific language like humans, so it is only regarded as the representation of human language in animal systems. The signal is the representation of the message of an animal in the form of sensory modalities like visual, auditory, tactile, or chemical. Sender is the animal that produces a signal. Transmission is the passage of signal in the space between the sender and the receiver. Propagate, on the other hand, means to spread out or to travel through the space between the sender and the receiver, while a receiver is the animal to which the sender's signal is directed to. For a clear understanding of how transmission in animal language occur, let's answer this question first. How do animals communicate? We know that animals can talk like human does. They can't use words or understand the rules of grammar, but they are able to communicate with each other through the use of different signals in the form of number 1, visual communication. Using their sense of sight, they are able to convey their message to one another. It comes in two forms, badges and displays. Badges refers to the physical appearance of an animal that holds certain meaning for their kind. Displays, on the other hand, are the animal behaviors. Example for badge. The bright color of an animal tell a prospective mate that the male is a suitable choice. And for displays, a dog wags his tail to let you know he's happy. Number 2 is the auditory communication. It involves the use of hearing on which animals produce sounds that conveys different meanings. The hissing, barking, purring, and growling are some of the examples of auditory communication. The sounds that they produce may be used to ward off threats, attract mates, or express feelings of pain or happiness. For example, dog barks when approached by a stranger. The third one is the tactile communication. Animals also use the sense of touch to convey messages. They use this form of communication to show comfort or fear, affection, and power. Example, cat rub its nose to her mother to show affection. The last one is the chemical communication. Some animals also use pheromones or chemical markings to attract mate, ward off threats, and mark their territories. They do that by releasing or leaving their own signature scent. Example, skunk releases its signature scent when threatened. Now, let's get to the point of this discussion. How animals transmit messages from one another. Look at this illustration. You can see here how the process of transmission in animal language works. You could refer to it if you wanted a detailed illustration of the transmission process. Okay, so let's dig deeper. The first on the process is the message. This is where the process of communication begins. The message, an idea or information, is being formulated here. Next, the sender encodes the message into a signal. The animal sender converts the message into its distinct signal, whether visually, auditorily, tactilely, or chemically, and emits it towards the receiver. Then, the signal travels through the channel of transmission. The signal propagates toward the path. This procedure is being tested by external barriers such as background noises and anything that could affect or degrade the signal. And the receiver would receive the signal and decodes it. The transmitted signal is perceived by the receiver. The receiver then produces a response, if applicable, the feedback of the receiver towards the perceived message in the form of another distinct signal. See for example, first, a male great horned owl searched for a mate. Second, in order to find one, he would emit a signal by calling, swelling his chest, and bowing to females. The signal will propagate toward the female owl. The owl then receives it and understands the message. If the female owl gets attracted to the male, she would respond by returning the bow and hooting. That's all. We hope that you learned from those information. Thank you.